Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas, joined by your host Richard. And today we're here to talk about the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Today I'm joined three of not of the famed Durag Avengers. Well, maybe two. Kwame's sad to put his on. Martz, how you doing, brother? You're on mute, brother.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Great start.
Great start, man. It's a butter start. That's what that was. Yeah, not too bad. Just ready to get into this. But calm down from yesterday's race, so let's go.
Yeah, you was wilding on the group chat, was he? Like he was like clubhouse or something. Yeah, cool. Listen, man, it gets like that sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes you just yell on your phone. Boy. Anyway. Yo, listen, boy. Kunle, fresh out of the Six God Palace, the Drake Embassy.
It's been a minute.
Embassy there, that's true, yeah.
It's been a minute. I've not been on a pod in a minute, so I heard Nathan's looking for me, so I'm here now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, he's looking for blood steal.
I don't know what I done. I don't know what I done, Nathan, but Nathan, I'm here now. So yeah, let's get into it.
Boy, you might fly over to Drake's Embassy still and come try find you, catch you slipping.
Kunle said, "I'm outside. Where are you, bro?" You think I'm outside. Where are you? Fighting talk.
Boy, it's a mad thing still. And last but not least, brother Kwame with the fresh trim for the pod of a specky. Straight out of HMP, Chris prison. How you doing, brother?
Bro, I'm good, man. First one was always, man. First day out in it, so I just decided to fall asleep to celebrate and all that. So bit tired, I can't lie. Like, I woke up like 15 minutes ago. So yeah, no drag adventures today as well, man. But we're not gonna talk about that, man. I think my drag is shocked. So hopefully, the pod's better than this. I want a better practice than certain drivers did from the weekend.
Ooh, stick talk already, yeah. Boy, look at 24-hour bang up those two, man. Crazy, man. Honestly, yo, gotta do better for our Black Kings. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's say start off with something quite controversial, if you will, and that's the Kingspan controversy. Yeah. So I can't remember what it was, a few days ago, Mercedes announced that these went into a deal with Kingspan, and this is the same organization that had a part in the cladding, basically, with the Grenfell Tower. So of course that caused loads of uproar, understandably. However, what I don't like is people have a lack of comprehension skills, and they just don't want to read. The reason why I say this is because a lot of people try to attribute this to being Lewis's fault or Lewis's problem, just because he's the star driver of the team, when at the end of the day, the only sponsor he's brought in is Tommy Hilfiger. So, basically, to at least clear things up for the simpletons of the internet, and people do think pieces on this morning, I'm coming to you, Martz. Martz, what's your take on the whole Kingspan controversy, and what do you have to say for the absolute bozos who thinks Lewis is the one who signed the deal off?
Toto, as I said, we'll be discussing Toto at the end of the season, but I think it's just another bad call from him again this year. We discussed about how sometimes his behavior playing up to the pantomime with Christian Horner, and then now, I mean, a driver as scrutinized as Lewis Hamilton. You have a driver on your team who's as scrutinized as Lewis Hamilton. You then go in to sign a deal with someone who, by your letter that you replied to to Grenfell United, you clearly said that, we spoke to Kingspan and they said they had no knowledge of that their cladding was being used in a project like that. And you've basically said, okay, you've accepted the fact that they said they have no blame in it. But I'm sorry, I will want to stay as clear from something like that as possible. Something so sensitive in this country that it's not even resolved yet. But there's still people that are unhoused. There's the investigation is still going on for over 5 years later. 5 years later, and you go into a deal with someone like that, it's very bad taste. It's very sour taste. I understand, like obviously, if someone's offered you a good deal on something, sometimes you might be more inclined to take it, and they're giving you assurances. But sometimes you have to just look past those things and just understand, especially when you have a driver as scrutinized as Lewis Hamilton, where he's the one going to get the slack, because it doesn't matter what everyone else does. It's always going to fall back onto him because it's his team in the eyes of the world, isn't it? So it was very, very poor leadership from Toto. And I've literally put all this blame on Toto. I don't really care about anybody else who might have done the deal. This is all on Toto. You're a good friend of Lewis, and you understand everything that he's fighting for. This isn't something that he should have jumped into bed with. You just stay clear away from it. It's just poor leadership skills.
Yeah, that they were Port Martz. Yeah, 100% agree with everything you said. Kunle, do you have any thoughts on the whole situation?
It's annoying because it's one of those situations where people are still hurting, right? And all these years back, if you ask anyone, what were you doing when Grenfell happened, they probably can tell you where they were or what was going on at that time. Because I remember clearly where I was, and I remember seeing people talking about it on Twitter that night. And and since then, the follow-up and the backlash and everything has happened since then. And like Matt said, there are people still homeless. Some people's families changed forever from that moment. There are people who lost, there's people who lost parents, grandparents, children from that tragedy. And it's two things in this situation, right? First is the Mercedes and Toto part of it, and second is the people who are putting Lewis's name to that. And to the Mercedes and Toto part, it's a bit weird. It just feels like when you're cool with someone, like your boy, but they're constantly taking you to the place where they know you've got ops that are trying to beat you up. And that's just the vibe that it gives. It's like, well, boys, I'm going to set you up, to get beaten up. And this is not the first this year. There was the Daily Mirror, Daily Mail, whichever one that Toto did that interview with, for publication, that has constantly tried to question Lewis and his lifestyle and him as a person over the years. And then we bring it to this situation where it's like, in as much as we want to say don't put Lewis's name to it, we know that that deal will bring Lewis's name into it, whether we like it or not. Because, first things, that's the face of the sport, not even just the team. It's almost the face of the sport. And for someone, and the excuse that because, he's been vocal about other issues, why is he not vocal about this? That some people are going to use that. They clearly know that it's not his team. Lewis is, I think we need to get this straight. Yes, he's the number one driver of that team. But people need to realize he is an employee. He is not the employer. They pay him to drive their car. If next year they say we don't want you driving our car no more, he ain't gonna drive the car no more because he doesn't have the ability to control who Mercedes employs. Because people might want to think, oh, Lewis does this, Lewis does that. He makes control. No. If Mercedes wake up tomorrow and say, we're pulling out of F1, we don't want to have an F1 team no more, Lewis is jobless as a Formula One driver right now. So people need to understand that there's certain decisions that are ahead of his pay grade. And this is something like, it can go on and on and on. But now there's people that I want to mention, fucking Michael Gove, fuck Michael Gove, fuck the conservatives and fuck them and whatever they stand for. You're gonna put it out to represent it as if, like you send it, writing a letter to say, oh yeah, Mercedes need to like do this, do that. They were in fucking government when this happened. And the government, they're still in government and they've still not done anything to rectify these issues. Those claddings still exist in couple houses around the UK, not just London. We can go on and that. This is not a political podcast. The people, the news reporters that are putting out articles, they're like, Lewis Hamilton signs. How is it Lewis signing? It is Lewis Hamilton, not Lewis Mercedes. Like, it makes no sense. But again, I wouldn't want to give idiots the time of the day to go back and forth with who's making decisions on Mercedes. Because again, there's racism tax to it. I mean, Lando Norris moved to Monaco this week. No one's saying nothing about that. But it's fine. Mercedes make a deal and it's Lewis Hamilton's fault because, Lewis Hamilton... I don't understand. Are people mad that Lewis speaks on racial injustice? Like, is it because it does that, or is it because it speaks against, countries that have anti-LGBTQ or anti-woman rights? Like, Lewis is not everyone's father. He's not your daddy. If you need someone to speak on something, go meet your daddy to speak on it for you. Lewis will speak on what is important at the time. And right now, what is important to him is getting more minorities in the sport. And, I'm fighting for human rights. I'm sure he's spoken on Grenfell in private. Maybe the deal caught him by surprise. Maybe he doesn't know. Like, I was reading something and he's as surprised, the backlash on his name. Surprising him, like, I'm not Mercedes. I don't make the deals. But, let me stop now, because if I go, I can go on and on and on and on and on. And let me just stop.
Yeah, we know your thing already still. we know your thing already still. Good let know. Don't worry. We'll do a big deep dive one day on some of the fuckeries the last couple of years. Don't worry, we'll do that. And Kwame, do you have any thoughts on the matter at hand?
Yeah, I'll be brief because we've gone quite long. But I couldn't do it for that long topic, man. I'm sorry if you guys see my actions on camera if you're just on YouTube. I mean, yeah, things happen. But nah, man, long story short, I feel like, you guys have kind of gone on about, how totally moving, how the management of Mercedes be moving, and then, man, the way it seems like, money comes first in it, because they've been rumors in the past of them having sponsorship deals with like Aramco, the Saudi Arabian company, doing how the Saudis have been moving. Long show, we've seen all the, their questionable acts between women and the LGBT community, all that stuff. But with the whole Kingspan though, Grenfell, again, I feel like it's just Toto and Mercedes in general being very insensitive, just them looking at the money. But my main issue is mainly being the backlash that came onto Lewis Hamilton's name, because like these guys saying, just basic comprehension, like you need to know that Lewis is not in the boards, he's not the owner, he's not the principal. It was Hamilton F1 team, okay, cool, maybe I understand. It's just Tommy Hilfiger doing some big stuff, cool, understand, but Lewis is nowhere in shape or form involved in this. And I'm seeing, politicians like Michael Gove calling out his name. You're seeing this morning, and people like, that tough girl from Main Chelsea over getting onto him. Like, they need to understand that this guy's not involved. And the backlash that he's getting from it, okay, cool, like Martz said, it's expected, but I don't see people go for Bottas. I don't see people go for George Russell. Is it racism? Or is it because he's the main guy? That's the question I want people to look at.
I feel like I was just following up on Kwame thing. I was just feel like one more thing I just want to say, like, just on Toto, why? I would actually like an explanation as to why he felt that he had to sign that deal. Because if it's money, I doubt it's anything to do with money. It can't be you need money, especially with the spending cap. What do you need the money for? It's not like.
Well, you're not has.
Exactly. What do you need the money for? Why was the deal needed in the first place? There was no clear explanation from him either about that. It just does not make sense at all.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with what everyone said, to be fair. 100%. It's funny as well, just to wrap up. I think it was Ted Kravitz, I think on Ted's notebook, he basically said that the deal doesn't make much sense in the grand scheme of things, because if you look at the size of the sponsorship on the car, it's not that big. And it basically means that they haven't paid much money to get that size of sponsorship to be on that car. So that's even more telling that a big company like Mercedes that are getting backed by Daimler and all this shit need that sponsorship. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's probably more to it than what we know. But yeah, all I can say is, Michael Gove, Georgia Toffolo, all you fucking gam on Twitter, all you dickheads that like to say, ooh, Lewis should not retract on the deal. All of you go suck your mum in it. Like, straight up, all of you. Especially that. Do you know what? Let me hold my tongue in it. Let's just move on to Quali in it before I say something mad.
Fuck Toff. I used to fuck with what I made on Chelsea, but fuck Toff, man.
Yeah, bro, listen, you know when she got shagged by, what's his name? Sam Thompson? Boy,
yeah.
Editage, fam.
Yeah.
When she got shagged by Sam Thompson, I said, yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy still. Yeah, you see how things come to light? Hey, listen, fam. Let me not get into a little made in Chelsea fan today, but still. Let's move on onto Quali. Right, so obviously this is the first time F1's been to Jeddah. We had a bit of a rough idea of how things will be with the F2 and whatnot. There's a couple of crashes and whatnot, a couple people doing, a bit of pirouettes and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of track evolution as well. There's a lot of surprise little results. Martz's boy, Gio Harv up in this bitch and all this shit. Managed to get up to P5.
We're going out with a bang. Shit. We're going out with a bang.
Well, it's not the He's in Formula E, bro. He's in Formula E. Them talks have been finished, man. The stock market is closed on Gio. As soon as Zhao got a contract that's been closed, bro, don't try to.
It don't matter. We're going out.
Triple Zhao, yeah? Triple Zhao. Man.
Yeah. We want to trademark here on Pitstop Fracas, man. If people start saying that, man.
Nah, serious though. But yeah, Quali was definitely interesting. But yeah, before we get on to the big moments of Quali, I just want to come to you, Kunle. Do you have any thoughts on Quali and how the drivers did and whatnot? And even on free practice as well? A certain man from the world about some cracks. But yeah.
I prefer not to speak on certain man's name. But certain man's making the engineers work overnight in Jeddah, man. That's haram, man. That's haram. You shouldn't be doing that overnight work. Nah, don't be making your engineers work to put your car together. But for Saturday on a Friday, man, it's meant to be chilling, relaxing, enjoying the views, chilling with the sheikhs. But nah, it's like
got my working in the hot sun, bro.
On the hot sun, bro. Hot sun.
50-degree weather.
Hey, wearing red overalls, bro. Because I bet they'll be wearing red overalls in the engine room too. But hey, it's nasty hours. But yeah, practice was practice, man. Same old people spinning. It's a new track, so I sort of expected that. But Quali, that was something. I enjoyed Quali, to be fair. I actually enjoyed it from Q1 to Q3 because the track was there was a lot of track evolution, right? And your best time that you set like 2 minutes ago might be like the 6th best time, and it felt like the track didn't really respect any type of tires. You could be on the hards and still be fastest. You can be on the soft and the slowest, and it didn't really matter what tires you put on. But I thought it was good Quali. I mean, I'll let you guys talk about Q1, Q2, but then we'll talk about the main the main event of qualifying on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? Let's just go straight to it, fam. She's just waiting in it. Let's just go straight to it. Max, Bottles Paul, Kwame. Talk to me about Max's potential Hall of Fame lap, but didn't come to fruition.
Bro, the lap was mad. Like, to get in general, like when most drivers are trying to get pole, usually they have like one purple or two purples maybe. To be on track for you to get 3 purples, for him as well to be faster than Lewis in all sectors, especially in a track like that. He pushed hard. He got every corner coming to spot on. I mean, towards actually, it's interesting because the first corner, I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but he was very close to hitting the wall as well in the first corner.
Mm-hmm.
And the first corner, last corner, ironically, are the most easiest corners in the track because they're the most kind of open compared to everyone else in the track. But he was on job to get like a very, very good lap. These guys are in Hall of Fame. Everything was spot on. Everything's kind of aligned for him as well because he was but he was after Lewis essentially. So everything was aligned for him. And then the last corner, he from what I saw, his wheel kind of locked up. So his front and left, pretty sure it locked up, and then he kind of had too much backspin on the end of his car, which meant that he hit the wall. But the way the tire hit the wall, the suspension, not suspension, but the tire suspension kind of just went. So he hit too much of the wall essentially, and he just couldn't go. And then the devastation from hit. He was in third place well because Bottas got faster as well. So I feel like that's when the problems kind of started to hit because he realized that, I'm in a street circuit, a circuit where there's been a lot of crashes before in F2 in practice, a circuit where you also don't know. So it was peak for him, but he had a good week on forward that. He was faster than Hamilton on a hard tire, which, like Conor said, that never really happens. So the weekend was kind of geared towards him, even though you could say the track's quote unquote more Mercedes, but never mind.
He was faster on the soft. It was the soft tire was faster.
Soft tire was fast as well, yeah.
I think in free practice he was fast. Hamilton was fast. It's on the hard tires.
That's it. Yeah, I'm confused.
And then he was faster on like every other tire, to be honest.
Yeah. So he was, it was meant to be. He was kind of spot on, join on, but then he bowled it essentially. Just put too much. The issue with Max is he's got no composure, man. I've always been saying this. The guy is just too hot-headed. Like sometimes, bro, just chill. You're in the last corner, just take it home. But no, you just overdid it, and
I think it was coming, to be honest. Like I remember watching free practice, and he most drivers will take their time going around the circuit and just getting to know it, get a feel for the track. He wasn't doing that at all. He was going there right at the edges of the apex,
from the first lap in first practice.
FP1.
Yeah. He was going because I was reading like BBC News, like the live thing, and whoever was there was like Max has decided to not give a fuck and just go for it from the first lap. And that lap in Q3, he could have ended in the second in turn 2, where it felt like he brushed the wall. I don't know, maybe he brushed the wall. It looked like he brushed the wall. And from there,
I think he almost touched it or lightly.
I think he almost, anyway. Or like when
like,
and then same thing was happening essentially.
Yeah, and I was like, and I said, and like I was like, yo, and I saw the thing is, so he went faster first. Then Lewis sort of like went like barely just about faster than he did. Yeah, and then he was going again, and then he put 0.2 tenths up in the first sector. I'm like, boy, scary hours. Second sector as well.
2.5 tenths.
Another 2.5 tenths. Like, yo, it might be half a second. This is looking like half a second. And then, just when he mattered on the straight, just when you just need to keep it, just keep it tidy. Like the thing is, at that point, you should. I think they have the delta, right? They can see on the steering, like you're up. All you need to do is clean till the end of the lap. Basically just complete your lap, and you probably get in pole, or at least P2. All he needed to do was that. But nah, man was Oliver Twist. They wanted more. Main character syndrome. I want to be the one. I want this lap to. And you know, I said in the group chat, like after all the like, you know, bans, after like that was a GOAT lap. That lap, if he'd finished it, and that's a big if, because he didn't finish the lap. I'll remind all of you Max fans again that I say he was on for the best lap of the year. He would have been the best lap of the year if he had finished it, but he did not finish it.
As they said on the F1 email they sent to me, you're not finished until you're finished. Yeah.
I like that. So, you know, my man, he went wide, understeer, oversteer, who gives a shit? He kissed the wall, and that was it, you know. I don't know. Some people say it was an unlucky mistake. I think he bottled it, personally. You know, he bottled it.
Yeah, it looks like he got way too excited as the lap was going on, and then all of a sudden the VS lights up towards the end, and then he smacks the ball. But yeah, he's only got himself to blame in it. You know, as I said, he probably got too gassed and he paid the price. So it's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? But anyways, moving on to Sunday and the race. So of course the race kicks off. You know, everyone's nice and clean, blah blah blah. And then a certain Mick Schumacher decides to crash out over on lap 10 and, you know, hits the wall, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, there's a VSC for about 3 laps. Say he starts pit, blah, blah, blah. Then a red flag comes out, which was a bit, people will argue maybe a bit late, perhaps. Maybe should have been a bit sooner. But, yeah.
That's suspicious. That's suspicious. And that red flag was very suspicious. Yeah, I don't. Listen, I know, like, obviously, if we all have different views, and I know Kwame was like not with the conspiracies. Me, I have to run my conspiracy. Like Hamilton, like it was. All right, the wall. All right, if you want to repair the wall, by all means, fine. But repair the wall. But the fact of the matter is, that red flag was called so late. Like, it doesn't take a marshal 5 minutes or 3 laps of a safety car to go and walk and see, all right, you know what? We need to repair this damage to the wall. Red flag the race. Like, you could see Mick's car and you'll be able to see the damage. Like, just red flag it straight there. Like, even if it was 1 lap around the safety car, you can say, all right, you know what? They still need a bit of time just to assess the damage. But it was a good, like, 5 minutes later that they red flagged the race. And it just did not make sense. It really did not make sense. And as I said, like, it's kind of suspicious that Red Bull decided to pit Perez and they left Max out there. I'm not saying that Masi gave him a heads up, but I'm not saying that didn't give them a heads up, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, it was very nasty, that red flag. It was very nasty. And it just kind of, and that throughout that point there, the bad decisions from the race directors and the FIA just kept coming and coming and coming, and it was just an absolute mess throughout the rest of the race, to be honest.
Kunle, do you have any thoughts on the red flag basically being called?
It came out too late. It came too late. You know a red flag incident the minute it happened. Like, considering there was F2 sprint race. I watched the sprint race for F2, and there was like 3 safety cars in that sprint race. So for the life of me, I do not know what those guys do in that. Like, Kwame, you be following them guys. They're bombs. All of them. They're all fucking bombs. Like, what the fuck are those guys driving?
Hey.
Yeah, I can't lie, there's some crackheads in that division still.
Listen, I can't lie to you. I'd probably say about 5 to 10 of them. No, I say 2 or 3 of them. Okay, cool. They'll get to F1. 5 to 10 maybe. Except for that, rest of the field, yeah, they're managers.
Bro, what are these guys driving? About 3 safety cars in 20 laps. I'm like, yo, Kwame sits down to watch this almost every weekend when they're on. Like, yeah,
hey, not just me as well. Some people in the car still do this, man, but it's not just me.
If I've got my little cheeky piasty watch, you know what I'm saying?
So, but yeah, I mean, again, even in the support race, there was times where, like, because it's a straight circuit. it's a fast circuit, but we have to remember it's a street circuit, so there's not enough time to maneuver cars to go around. Like during the F2, they were going through the pit lane because of where the accident was. Right, the safety car was going through the pit lane, so that should already give race control like an idea of what. Like there should already be plans to say, okay, if an accident happens here or here, this is what we do. Safety car, first things first. Okay, yeah, safety car, there's a crash. Everyone slow down, safety car. But immediately, like probably the first lap on the safety car, there should be red flag in that. If the excuse was, we need to come down to see the extent of damage, to see if we need a crane to like fix it. That makes no sense, because if you're going to come down anyways to check it, why make people go around for like 3 extra laps? Unless I'm bugging, or I'm stupid, or I don't know about F1 enough, or I don't know about safety. But it's 3 extra laps on the track for no reason if you're still going to stop the race. And then what makes it even worse is that after they stop the race, it probably take about 10-15 minutes and it's fixed. So basically they just wasted 3 laps when they could have stopped it and fixed it. So yeah, Michael's been suspect all season long, but yesterday makes it worse. Like, I think Michael Masi has main man syndrome too. He has main character syndrome. He wants to be the center of attention for everything when everything good is going on. He wants to be remembered as the one that was there too. Like, you're not driver. You're like you're meant to be race director. Direct the race. Don't be doing this. Like Charlie, rest in peace, Charlie, wasn't about this life. Charlie used to pattern up the thing nicely. Everyone respected Charlie. It was like, straightforward. The red flag in, red flag in. The safety car was safety car. But yeah, it was basically Michael Masi fuckery.
Yeah, most definitely, 100%. Kwame, do you have any thoughts on the red flag, basically?
Yeah,
come out too late?
I ain't clear my name in it. I ain't clear my name because most of you guys saw I put a tweet on the account and yeah, got a bit of stick, got a bit of love, but no.
Yeah, the FIA is not gonna have sex with you, bro.
I don't care about that, man. No, I don't want that, man. But no, but my issue is, yeah, like, okay, cool. I feel like both is gonna be true. I feel like the FIA, Michael Masi, they got the call. Like, they should be more decisive. They should have done the call there and then. Like these guys are saying, like, in the past, we've known when things are red flag. We know when things like that same corner where Mix crashed in the past with F2 was red flag. So why now in this race is it not a red flag? The math doesn't math. Like, they took way too long to make a decision. They took way too long to know. And by the point now, 3 laps already done. And also put everyone in a disadvantage. At the same time, I understand, cool. You all crashed in the wall and it took too long to, to dissect the situation. But okay, cool. Safety comes first. So I understand why they red flagged it, because they may have thought, okay, cool. We don't have enough time to get the walls up. It just happened to be that match just bust case in this situation somehow, because I feel like with him and Perez, Red Bull probably took the risk. They probably thought, okay, cool. Seeing what's happening this track in F2 and in practice, might be a crash. So if Max stays out and overtakes Lewis, we could somehow get away with it. It was very risky, because I didn't think it was a bust case. But they somehow got away with it, and they thought, let's put Perez in the tie, change Perez's tie, because if it doesn't work out for Max, you still got Perez as a backup. Whilst with Mercedes, they were strong. Lewis brought us cool ties, so they were much more strong-headed with their strategy and knew what they were doing. But overall, I feel like Michael Masi, FIA had a big mare today. We'll talk about later as well how Demo is playing How to Be a Millionaire, Deal or No Deal, all these game shows, Red Bull, Mercedes, about switching positions, like penalties. Like, come on, man, you can't be doing that. Like,
don't worry, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, Kwame. Don't worry about that. We know about Masi Montana. Don't worry about that. Anyways, let's move on to the restart, basically. So, of course, red flag came out. All the drivers chilling. So, of course, who was on the front row? Of course, Max and Lewis. So, Lewis had a great start. Max ends up cutting the corner. Tries to go on the outside. then Ocon starts to get himself involved and ends up in P2. So of course you had crash at the back, Checo and Sharl, Keith and George, and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna come to back on you one actually, Kwame. What do you think about the start? Do you think it was fair race between Max and Lewis? And yeah, do you think it was fair racing?
I feel like with the whole Max, Lewis and Ocon situation, I feel like it was a very rash move for Max, in my opinion. Dive bombing in the inside of a three-man overtake, but I guess it worked out for him. But we've seen in the past that could have easily gone wrong. That could have easily taken out not just you and Hamilton, but also Ocon as well, getting involved for no reason. So yeah, that was very, very. It was a risky move. It worked out for him, but it's something that I wouldn't really condone. But we know how Max is, and it works for him. It works out for him, and has done in the past. So I feel like that move was quite rash, but he got the job done. Luckily for him, but in another day, that would not have worked out, and all three of these guys would have been crashed down. Then we'd be having more conversations about Max and what he's like in the, what type of driver is he? So
yeah, but then the thing is, did he get the move done though?
He got moved on.
He went off track, no?
No, that's after.
Ran outside off track, basically.
He went off. That was the one where he went.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay, the first one he went off track.
The first one he went off track.
I get confused. I was talking about the other one where he went free.
Yeah, I know.
That was the second restart. Yeah,
first reset. Bro, this race is a mess. Okay, the first one, that's all Max's fault. Like again, like you're so desperate to go in the outside, dive from the outside, Lewis, man. Like, bro, composure. I've been saying this composure, bro. Wait, we've said this before in the past about Max, man. Good drivers know when and where to overtake on the track. They know where to put the positions. They know how to do it and where to do it. No need to dive on the outside. No need to cut the corner because we know that's illegal. That makes sense to you guys, yeah, because that's how the whole monopoly thing comes afterwards. But yeah, bro, know your position, know where to overtake. Why are you dive bombing the outside? How desperate are you? Because you know you're going to have to get a position back anyways. And you know you're going to get in trouble, going to get a penalty. Like, just do things properly in the race, man. Wait to the right time, the right place. First corner, last corner, they were the best places you can overtake. And that's the first corner as well, but you man still dive bomb it. And then, so why are you getting upset now when, the FA, then after the restart, it's like, okay, cool, you have to give you a little penalty, a little, I don't want to change position, but yeah, you have to give you a little something because you can't be doing that. So yeah, I feel like with Max, again, no need for him to do that. It's very rash. She'll just hold the position and wait for better time on the track. Pick your battles correctly. That's my advice to him. He didn't do that this Grand Prix.
Kunle, any thoughts on Max and Lewis on the first restart?
Yeah. So, to be honest, there was so much going on that lap that you could easily forget that restart happened because Lewis, for some reason, Max's starts this weekend were not great. Like even the race start, he normally usually like gets a place or two at the start of a race if he's not starting in front. But this time around, he tried to go to the side of Bottas, but Bottas covered. I think Bottas covered the outside, and Lewis was on the inside already. So, and he had to defend from Ricciardo from behind him immediately already. But this time around, in that restart, if I remember it, Lewis is there, right behind him. Ocon's there too. And Max doesn't get a great start, and Lewis goes, I think Lewis goes ahead of him. And Max goes off track and goes in front of him, or he has to cut him off track or something like that. And that allows Ocon to go straight to take the lead. So it becomes Ocon, Max, and Lewis. And before that lap ends, the setting man from the setting south of France is banging wheels behind. There's basically two sets of crash happened behind. And that was diabolical. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? It was weird.
Do you know, Kunle, let's touch on that actually. Who's at fault then? Was it a racing incident or was Sharl being Sharl? Basically.
Okay. Agenda aside.
Mhm.
Aside.
It was Charles's fault.
Boy,
Boy.
couple man from the pub won't be happy. Boy,
I mean, if
pull up and
I
crash
was
it, pulling up and crashing.
if I was a
Damn.
child support, if I was
Get him in the
supporting Leclerc,
FB.
if I was supporting Charles, if I was, if I had CL, what's his racing number again? Is it 17?
CL 16.
Is it 16? Yeah, if I had CL 16, if I had CL 16 with the Monaco flag in my bio on Twitter, I'm saying racing incident. Like, I'm saying Perez didn't look, he didn't have anywhere to go, he could have crashed. But for the sake of what it is, yeah, Charles should be doing better. But that's for agenda's sake. For agenda's sake, he should be doing better. He could have ended his own race there too. But the funny thing about that lap was, I don't know if anyone saw Perez trying to get his car back. And they're just standing in the middle of the road, looking lost.
Yeah, I see that. Waiting for a lift. Hands on hips and all that shit, yeah?
He had his hand.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
They were just standing in the middle of the road. It's like,
Man's Uber cancelled on him.
basically,
You know that
like,
once outside
like,
on the street, like, where's this Uber
Oh,
from?
man.
Times 5.
You're just watching the app and it's like 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man shot
Yeah.
six. Man shot 2 bells to go from Oxford
and
Street to Croydon.
then and then we also had
Oh.
what's his name from Haas, this kid from Haas,
Oh,
Mazepin.
Nikita, yeah.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Nikita just he just rammed into Russell again. I mean, he had nowhere to go.
And listen, if you're going to talk about someone from Haas, yeah, you can't just get onto that. You got to get out onto the other one, Schumacher's son. Yeah.
No, we already spoke on
We
Schumacher.
spoke about it, man.
We didn't. We just said what he did. We just said what he did, yeah. But you know what, yeah? Certain man, he's getting away with it, and certain man have stocks in him, and they're letting him get away with it. I'm not having it.
Haas don't have spare parts no
I
more.
don't
Like,
care.
they're running out
Exactly.
of spare
That team
parts.
was dry, man.
Because they've all gone on his car. They've all gone on his car.
But yeah, let's keep the agenda aside. So I mean, Checo versus Sharl. I mean, it didn't. No one got any penalties, right? Did they even look at it?
They were looking at it,
Don't
but
think
nothing happened.
It was no for that thing, right?
No
Yeah.
further,
So
I
Yeah,
think
I mean-
they treated them both as first lap incidents, innit? Like,
yeah. So again, with the tires being cold and everything, and the street circuit, basically a lot of carnage would happen. And I think by that time, when that happened, everyone was like, okay, we need to calm down. Because I feel after that, there wasn't any much more craziness going on up until a certain point, obviously, with a certain driver from a certain team, a certain man's son, But yeah, we'll get there.
Martz, do you have any thoughts on Mr. Leclerc causing crashes as usual, causing damage?
Leclerc doing what Leclerc does. That's it, innit? It's Leclerc things. What do you expect? This is just another day in Leclerc's world. That's it.
I don't know if any of you man watch Raising Canaan, yeah, but there's some guy on it, yeah, called Famous, right? And he sings the song saying, "The streets need a body." Boy, I tell you, I know Charles listens to that before the race. He's like, "Do you know what? The streets do need a body on the streets of Jeddah." He saw Checo and he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get him down tonight, boy." And that's sharp for you, isn't it? Anyways, moving on onto the man of the hour, Masi Montana, Mr. Shot Call himself. Now, Michael Masi was on FIA radio to, I think his name's Jonathan Wheatley of Red Bull. I don't know what he does there, but yeah, he's part of Red Bull.
I think he's
Basically,
Max's race engine, isn't it? He's Max's
No, it's
race
not
engine.
race. No. Jonathan is though. It basically does what Chris Meadows does at Mercedes.
Oh,
So it's like the sporting director. So basically, if there's anything to do with the stewards, he's the one that's gonna go represent them. If they need to speak to Masi, he's the one that's basically he's like the mouthpiece in terms of like directions. Like he's meant to be like the rule book guy.
I'm about to say, yeah, Martz, you're thinking of JB.
okay.
No, that's Gianpaolo Lambassi is Max's race Eventually, whatever.
I
But
don't care.
yeah, but yeah, Masi Montana thought, do you know what? Let me try get on this BMF thing on a season 2 late cameo. Let me try shot, couple grid stops for like half a brick or something. Like he's trying to be on what's his name? Or even Power Book 2 with Ghost. Let me try to be like Tariq Swingman or something, yeah. I give you 3 good places, you give me half a brick. Fam. Boy. I'm gonna leave the floor open. Anyone who wants to step forward to talk on the absolute shambles of this negotiation shit. Like you're trying to hustle Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some shit. You Mango P2 and then the P fam. Martz,
before we do that, yeah. I've got a question. If it wasn't a case that was involving Lewis and Max, do you think Masi does all of that negotiation?
Nope. He doesn't want his name. He doesn't want slander associated with him in the FAA because he knows how important the decision is. So he knows.
So if he's not going to do that, if it was like a position in like 6th and 7th and stuff like that, if that was the positioning that we're jostling for, would they be having those negotiations, or it would be a slam dunk? You give the place back.
I still think because it has a 2 championship. If you're talking about if they're still championship contenders and they're still 6th and 7th, I still think he does that nonsense there. It was
I agree with that. If it's a championship contender, he would do this nonsense because 1 or 2 points, bro, is still going to impact the race. But if it's someone, let's say like even the midfield, let's say someone's like Lando, Leclerc, and Sainz, let's say, he would just give them the points, or just give them the place.
He would just give them the place back, right? I mean,
yeah.
Oh God,
I feel like he's too scared to make a decision because he knows that if he makes a big decision here, people are going to look back at Matthew. He's already getting 4 allegations as it is. Not even just with us in Pitstop Fracas or everyone on Twitter, but the F1 teams, the manager and people up there, they even looking at him a bit fugazi. So I don't think he wants that that backlash essentially, and he's just moving like a scaredy cat, bro, moving like a pussy, bro. I can't lie because I know Charlie Wine. I'm maybe a bit too young, but the only thing I can remember was 05 USA. Other than that, that guy was very, very spot on with his decisions. He was very this way, it's that. Even in the interviews, the driver briefings, the videos on YouTube. This guy saying, nope, this is that, this is this Perez, this is this Lewis, this is this Grosjean. Very set in his ways. Masi just seemed like just vibes, man. I can't I understand, okay, cool, he may rush into the role or whatever, but it seemed like he's just going by whatever. And he's trying to please everybody as well, which is not the way to do it either. So
it reminds me of what's it called? He's a walkover parent, isn't it? Is that one of those parents that when you see them little badass kids in the shop and they're crying, they can't get the toy, and they're like, oh, all right, we'll get it for you, and now it's just nonsense, man. Like even like his dealings with Red Bull has been very questionable this season. But even just to say, how can you say for Lewis when it came down to him, say, was it again? That was a bordering a black and white flag. What's bordering black and white flag? If he broke the rules or done something that deserved the black and white flag, which he potentially did, give him the black and white flag. What is all this bordering?
Why are you scared to make decisions if you're the race director? Like you're meant to be the man that everyone else, driver or team, respects. But basically, no one fucking rates you.
And I think it comes down to the fact that it's been a whole storyline this year that, all right, Max and Lewis are going to go at this. And from the beginning, everyone's talking about this is going to go down to the final race. It's like, make those decisions that you're avoiding to make is basically you saying, I don't want to have an impact on this championship for the storyline, basically, because I don't want to be seen as a guy ruin everybody's viewings and the sky and all the other people that invested in this championship. Because if I make a major decision that impacts it, because all his decisions this season have been so bad when it comes to Lewis, when it comes to Verstappen. All right. I think obviously he doesn't make all the decisions because some of them have to go to the stewards. But there's some things he's just letting go. And I think you think back to Brazil, like not having all the footage and you're making a decision. That just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I feel like F1, FIA, they sort of need to do a clear distinction of what the race director's job is and what the stewards do. Because they confuse a lot of people. Like, 1 minute you're saying the race director doesn't have the impact, the race director cannot make decisions on incidents. And next minute we're hearing on radio the race director is doing negotiation of, you give me 2, I give you 1, you give me 3, I give you 5. We're gonna show you around, give me 2 bricks, I give you 1.5. I think stuff like that. Because again, even yesterday, like Crofty was saying, the stewards can step in and take that decision away from Michael Masi. Or I'm confused. Like, does he oversee the stewards? Does he refer accidents to the stewards?
He's basically below the stewards. So he is like, how can you put it? He would be like the Home Secretary or something. They look after a lot of what happens into the country, but there's certain decision that will have to go to the Prime Minister, and he'll have to deal with it. So instead of it going to the Prime Minister, he's the one meant to look after what's happening in the country, what's happening in the race. So, instead of using a government analogy, let's use football analogy. He's a sporting director. So obviously he's a sporting director. He controls what's happening in the club. He looks after everything else, but he still answers to somebody else, and that's the stewards. So the stewards who are the ones who make the rules and who enforce the rules. Enforce the rules, yeah. So they enforce the rules.
As well. Like, there have been like race incidents as well and penalties as well in races. So that's the main thing. That
Michael Masi can't give a penalty. He himself can't give a penalty. He can pass it on to the stewards, and then they will decide, because they're meant to make impartial decisions, because they're in a specific room where they have multiple viewing cameras. They don't get any commentary. They don't have access to the team's radios when they're speaking. So they're meant to make impartial decisions based on the evidence that they have right there in front of the screens, and that's what is meant to how they're meant to make their decisions. Whereas Michael Masi has the benefit of everything else. So if he feels that, okay, it's this, I've noticed this, give him the place back, or he's going to the stewards. Basically, if someone gives the place back, then it's not a problem. It's not a problem for them. But if they don't do that, then it is a problem, and he will send it up to the stewards. But you can't be out here negotiating things, saying, can you about the positions? Like, you make your decision right there. And the fact of the matter, he didn't even have all the information. He literally didn't have all the information, because he was saying, it's going to be Ocon, Verstappen, Hamilton.
He got it wrong the first time around.
Yeah, and it's like, sorry, I didn't think about it. I didn't even see that. I have to go back on this, and this is what it's going to be. And then he was like, when Mercedes were asking, I'm sure he would have said, it's going to be Hamilton, Ocon, Verstappen. But no, it's meant to be Ocon, Verstappen, Hamilton. And poor Ocon was just lost in the middle of it.
Bro, it was going to throw Ocon into P3 on, Ocon's done nothing wrong.
For no reason.
Ocon's done nothing wrong. He's just there, minding his business, trying to get Alpine points, But yeah, that was, you know what? From when I see him on Friday wearing that blue drip, looking like that was
Dusty.
a horrible. That was a horrible.
It's giving
drip.
new look. It's giving
new look vibes. New look on Prada.
Like,
that was a very dusty.
Not even Boohoo Man.
Not Boohoo Man. New look. It was From when I seen that, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a long weekend for Michael.
And he busted with the Prada shades as well, the Mahat specials.
It was yeah. But yeah, and then that was basically again, it really made no sense why he was negotiating for that long. It was meant to be a slam dunk. If he's not given because I don't think Max to be fair, Max, there wasn't enough time to give the place back because basically, I don't think that lap ended before another safety car or red flag happened. So even because they couldn't even give it the place, they couldn't even give the Max. Okay, they couldn't even give the place back in the pits because
man's doing change locations, you know. Shit.
Yeah.
My man had flips, traveling around,
bruh. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Like that came out of nowhere.
Go.
So like even giving the place back had to happen when they came out of the pits. Going back to the standing to do the standing start. So I wouldn't say Max should have given the place back immediately because there wasn't any decision made at the time. But they had ample time. I don't know what the negotiation was about. I don't know why he wanted to negotiate, but that was just Michael being Michael, and it was that was
Masi Montana moving mad fun. Just like what in it. Anyways, move on to the second restart where Kwame, you've already touched on this, the big sandwich and whatnot. Martz is obviously gone. Kwame, I'm gonna come back to you on this, with Max, Lewis, and Ocon. Obviously, they both had the start. Lewis and Ocon have taken off. Lewis decides to come onto the middle of the track, and Max dives in on the inside. But of course, he has to, as tradition, squeeze Lewis and basically, take the lead. What's your thoughts on that? Is that just Max being Max? Should Lewis have placed himself maybe more on the left, on the inside, to try and maybe him and Ocon block off Max, or was it inevitable? He was going to.
I started from the beginning. I thought with Lewis Ocon, I see what Lewis was trying to do. So Lewis was just trying to. Lewis was just focused Ocon because Max didn't have the better start. So because it was just Lewis and Ocon in the beginning, Lewis just thought, let me just try to overtake Ocon. Let me try to squeeze Ocon. It was a clean overtake. It was a nice overtake. But then I feel like Lewis kind of forgot that Max being Max would be, because the only one space in the track then was inside. I think Lewis forgot that, Max would have dived on the inside. So I think in hindsight, yes, Lewis could have carved the inside more to prevent Max doing a dive on the inside. Because otherwise, Max would have to go for the outside, which he wouldn't have got, or a crash would happen. So I feel like it's hindsight 2020. I feel it's unlucky for Lewis if what happened because, he got Ocon, but he kind of forgot, Max is there, there's space here. And Max being Max, he decided, space is there. Let me just go and overtake. He put for himself. It's like the only time I overtake. So dive on the inside, which is a very, very rash decision because, like I said earlier, I said earlier, that was the wrong place, another place, another time. All of you could have crashed out, and that wouldn't have worked. I mean, it would have worked out in his favor most likely, but there'd be question marks. So maybe in trouble, whatever. So I'm not going to say too much yet. So I've already said my piece earlier.
Cool. Let's move on to the penalty. Of course, what lap was it? That Max pushed Lewis. I think it was lap. Was it fit? I can't remember now. Let's just move on to the
lap 37, wasn't it? Lap 37.
And was that first?
Wait, he got those.
Sorry, yes, you're right. Yeah,
there was two penalties though. There was like two penalties. There was the 5-second one and then the post-race one. So I don't even know what the 5-second one was for.
So that was for the first one. So that was for the lap 30. So what happened on lap 37 where Max ran off track and gained an advantage. So basically what the FIA said was because based on the fact that Max never gave back the position, because obviously what happened with the crash or the bumping into each other, which is I would say, Max never gave the position back and kind of carried on going. And so they gave him a 5-second penalty for that. But obviously the argument was that Max tried to give the position back and Lewis never took it because there was a second time he'd done it as well. The second time he'd done it, Max gave him the position back, but then
they took it back immediately on DRS.
So
I remember that.
So the original penalty, the 5-second penalty, was for that what happened on lap 37, where he, just kind of
a lot happened in this race, man.
Yeah. I know, fun. Kind of keep track of it. It was a mad thing, honestly. So simple thing.
So
Was the penalty deserved, basically?
Which of the penalties? Brake test or 5 second?
No, the 5 second one where he's pushed him off and then
Yeah, he's pushed him
he's
off track. You didn't give the place. He pushed him off track. You didn't give the place back. You know, in a reasonable and timely manner, and you kept a long-lasting advantage. You know, it's slam dunk, right? You give the place back or you get a penalty. Straightforward.
I think this is just following for like what I think Chris said it yesterday. He said that this is where the race director needs to have like a bit more balls. Like you got to say, or there needs to be more clear instructions when you're giving a place back. If you're going to give a place back, you say in what position, in what sector you have to give the position back. By what sector? You can't be trying to do this where Red Bull now saying, "Oh, Max, you have to give the place back, but do it strategically."
Yeah.
Well, strategically, no, just give the place back.
So
if Max is able to overtake him, he can overtake him again. But
so my thing with giving the place back is a bit. So it's like if you're giving the place back, but you can still get a better advantage. You can get a better drive because you've only just moved to the side, and the person is just gone. It's like
what you
2
see
meters in front of you. It
but
negates.
The thing is, sorry,
like one thing is it negates the advantage that. So let's say I'm trying to overtake you.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to make a clean move. You go off track to keep the lead. My tires are already bad. I've sort of messed up my own tires trying to overtake. I don't get the lead, but you're good. Like if I got the overtake done cleanly, I'll be in clear air. I'll be gone.
So but you can look at it this way. Max wouldn't have got an advantage, yeah. Because if he had given the place back where he actually got the message, so he would have got the message about midway through sector 2. That's where Max would have got the message. Because obviously we get a radio delay.
Yeah.
And obviously when we're seeing the radio, it's not where Max gets the actual message. Max probably got the message like a few seconds, I think it's normally about a 7-second delay between the actual message and where the driver is on screen. So we would, if Max had given the position back and slowed down in those areas where he was meant to, you're looking at a very different story. He would have still been able to get his DRS because he would have still been within a second of Hamilton. He didn't think like that, but because Hamilton was sorry, what was I going to say now? So yeah, because Red Bull said do it strategically, he's thinking if I do it just before the DRS, I can go get him on the again, and it's stupid.
Do it just before the DRS detection point.
Exactly.
So that you're within.
This is where Michael Masi needs to have a clear direction and say, okay, give the place back and do it in between sector 1 or do it in sector 2 by the next lap.
That's not I hear you, but that was the issue because Michael Masi didn't even know where he called the decision because I'm not sure you guys remember he was talking to I think John Ferrigni and they were asking, do we have to give the decision back? Where did you make the call? Michael Masi was just starting on the radio saying, "Oh yeah, I don't know." He basically wasn't sure of what.
So
he said what's it called? He's Michael Masi actually did tell Jonathan Wheatley. He said, "You can give the position back, or this is going to the stewards."
Yes.
Yeah. So Jonathan Wheatley's got that message. Tell Jonathan Wheatley obviously this is not in the rules at the moment, but this is where the rules need to change, and you need to have a clear instruction to say, all right, I'm telling you, give a position back by a certain time, or this is going to the stewards. Do it by the end of sector 3, do it by the end of sector 2, do it by the end of the lap, wherever you are. Have at least then. And then you can't be telling the perpetrator first. You have to tell Mercedes first that, you know what, as we saw this, and we're going to give you the position back. At least then they can have enough time to then tell Hamilton. Now, Hamilton's not known what's going on. Hamilton has no idea what's going on because Red Bull have been told first. That you can imagine the conversation is about 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds between Michael Masi and Red Bull now. They've gone through sector 1, sector 2. They're coming up to DRS point now. And now, midway through sector 2, you're telling Mercedes that's not enough time for them to say, by the time you get into sector 3 to get into the DRS point, to say, so the DRS detection zone, to say, give the position back. Because now, what's Hamilton meant to do? Hamilton, by the time Hamilton will get that message is relayed to Hamilton, he would already be on the start-finish straight. So Michael Masi has actually essentially, or not Michael Masi, but FIA, the lack of clear direction has ended up causing something like this. And I understand what Max was doing. As I said, if as a competitor, if you do something like that, then that if it works out, it's great, it's amazing. Everyone will praise you for it. But if it doesn't work out, then you absolutely look like a fool, and it's not quite fair on Max per se. I mean, because obviously he's just doing what he's doing to win the championship. But then that's where you need the clear direction from the governing bodies to say this is what needs to happen. Because if it happens now, it will happen again in the future. And I'm sure it's happened in the past with other drivers as well.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
because it's just
mess, isn't it?
basic. It's a mess, you know.
Yeah, because when sorry, go on.
Because if he gives the place back earlier, the crash doesn't happen, right?
Yeah, but the problem is that Max is wanting Lewis to overtake before the DRS detection zone, so he can go get him back immediately, and Lewis is wanting to overtake after the DRS zone because he knows what Max is going to do. So obviously, by the time Max has been told what's going on, Lewis hasn't been told anything. So he doesn't know. He's like, okay, why is Max slowing down? I haven't been told niche. So by the time everything's happened, he's ended up crashing into him. So, you know, we need to kind of see like the telemetry, and, you know, he said, you know, with the force of the bacon, it was like 69 bar or something like that. It was 2.4.
2.6.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
One of them
said,
G's. One of them.
Yeah,
G's.
one of them G's. Yeah, them innuendos there. I see what you're trying to do. So that's what you're doing. But yeah, let's just move on to the main topic at hand. Just flow right into it. Kwame, simple question: did Max brake test Lewis, or was this a racing incident?
Yeah, definitely a racing incident. I'll say more than Martz miscommunication. I'll say it's more of that. I say yeah to brake test, but I say it's way more miscommunication than him deliberately doing it. Yeah, some of the Max probably do, but I feel like more miscommunication. Max tried to slow it down. Obviously, he tried to make it very harder for Lewis to overtake, and if that was a normal incident, there would be like a penalty for it. So
no, it was a normal incident, and Max should be disqualified for it. Yeah. Like, as much as it's a miscommunication between the teams, like what Max did was completely wrong. He slowed down in the middle of the track. No, you slow down on either side. If you're going to slow down on the racing line, slow down on the racing line. If you're going to slow down if you're going to move to the side, completely move to the side and slow down. Why are you slowing down in the middle of the track? Basically, then braking in the middle of the track and then get hit. And it's like, and then speed off. Like, this is my other problem with it. Like, if Max was going to give the position back, someone's hit you in the back of the car. Why'd you speed off again then? Why would you speed off again?
No, that's my shooter as well. I've got
let Lewis pass and then you go.
He was running off on the plug. That's what he was doing.
I feel like what Max tried to do was, I feel like he tried to make it look like, I'm giving an overtake.
Yeah.
But, no, he can't overtake me now. I'll bust case and get away with it and drive off. Which, come on, that's not right.
Disgusting.
Just get the position back and overtake him. No need to try to do this fake overtake thing.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing, Max, doesn't he? He knows exactly what he's doing. Especially when it was, as I was talking about before, when he gave Lewis the place back pace, so he went to overtake him straight away, which you're not allowed to do. But listen, man, that was, he should have got more than 10 seconds, really, or like a good drop for Abu Dhabi. But, you know, with Netflix and whatnot, I don't know, maybe the FIA... It is a conspiracy theory for you, Martz. Maybe Netflix will control the FIA for dramatic effect. Maybe.
Definitely, man.
Maybe that's the case.
It's not even.
Maybe
It's
that's
not even Netflix. As I said it before, like Sky wanted their title challenge, innit? Sky wanted their title challenge. These networks wanted their title challenge, and they want their title fight. And it's going by hook or crook. It was going down to the final race. Like we had no control over that. Whether Hamilton won every single race, they would have found a way to make sure Max by Abu Dhabi is within enough points. They would have probably given second place more points than that's needed.
Bring back double points.
Exactly.
No.
Fam, can you imagine? No.
Oh god.
That'd be mad.
Can you fucking imagine?
They did that for what's it called? That was when Nico won, innit?
It was Abu Dhabi 2014.
Oh, 2014.
Yeah. So the gap at the end looked bigger than what it should have been because of the double point system. Because they wanted to be more with, I don't know. There's some BS anyway, but I'm glad they got rid of it.
That was probably their marketing thing, man.
That was Bernie.
Abu Dhabi, this glorious race. Abu Dhabi.
Benny was wild, bro.
This is good with the slap.
Oh yeah, did anyone see what Bernie said during the week?
Oh yeah, about Lewis.
Yes,
about Lewis.
Boy, did he have this energy when Michael went past Fangio when he broke his records? Probably not.
And Bernie's always had a bit of racism about him as well. Not even a bit. A strong case of racism about him as well. So yeah, we shouldn't be surprised.
Bernie's wild.
I mean, having kids.
Don't trust the guy who's 19 having kids. Don't trust, man. Don't trust that guy, man.
Boy, I was just about to say that, fam. I was literally just about to say that. It took the words out of my mouth. Man's still having kids at 90 and all fossil. Piss off, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to go on, Kunle.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the race, after that, I don't know how Lewis did it with like half a wing or 3/4 of
it was the end plate on the right. It was just a bit broken.
Yeah, a bit shaky.
It was still winging.
It was still dancing about.
That Red Bull gave him wings. That's all. That's what it did, bro. That Red Bull gave him wings.
You're meant to be giving wings, not taking away wings, bro. But he still managed. He managed to like pull up. He basically just went off, and it was faster slap.
This race still was funny though for me because it was like the first time I seen proper emotion from Lewis in like a long time. I've never heard Lewis swear on the radio so much in my life. Lewis was just going at it. He was going at it, and I was like, "All right, Lewis, calm down a bit." But you get what's going on, like how much this means to him and how much he wants it. But yeah, he was. I've never seen Lewis like this. I've never seen him act like this. Not even with Nico. Like, yeah. This is a different animal. And I saw an interview he done with David Coulthard, and he's like, 25-year-old me can never be the person I am today. And he's absolutely right, man. I think the monster he is right now is it's crazy, man.
You know what? I always say, like, Max is lucky he didn't buck 2010, 2011, 2012 Lewis. When Lewis was doing
sticky one still.
Lewis was doing the absolute most. Like, you can go ask Felipe. Felipe will tell you stories. Go ask Felipe. Like, you want to crash? Fuck it, we'll crash. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Let Bottas or Perez win the championship. You want to do first lap every time? We'll get into it first lap every time. And like, again, he said it, right? It was now is it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And now he's
sprinting though.
Now he's sprinting. Now is the sprint time. Like, you know what? I want all of the backing out.
Do you know why he's sprinting? It's because he turned up the engines, Mahad.
Oh my God! Lord of mercy! No. Listen.
How many races?
We're gonna cook you on our season review pod for that sake. I can't lie to you. We're gonna cook you for that shit. I told you in the YouTube comments you were 10 races late. You were 10 races late, bro. I told you.
How many races has Hamilton won since Spa? How many? Because I think he only won 3 or 4 before Spa, right? So how many has he won now? Is he near 6? Double that? Well then. Well then. Well,
He's on
then.
8 wins. He's on 8 wins now. I don't know.
He's on 8
Alright.
now. So
No. You
So
said
3-5,
he'll turn up
same
a
thing.
spot. Not got turned up.
You said it was going
5
to turn up a
wins, and
spot.
then if he wins next year, 6 year, hold
The
that.
rain got turned
Hold
up.
that. Hold that.
You just speak to me. It's you should be fighting Anik and them, man. It's not me, fam.
it's you and Anik. It's you and Anik.
Anik understands. Anik understands.
Anik don't understand shit.
Listen, all you dons are lost. I can't lie to you, fam. You just
Anik's out here being a bad bee after questioning Lewis saying how is he going to get to 100 this season, and now he's diving into pools, doing the most
with his phone, fam, with babes, bruh.
Yeah.
Instead of being on the pod, can you imagine? Fam, look at the way I'm gonna hold down this pod, fam. Disgraceful.
No, they're making Richard walk OT. They're making me take, get off the clock at work, recording a pod during the middle of the day,
Making me go chat them thing there, fam.
Nah.
Fam. No.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, the race ended the way it did, and I feel bad for Ocon. Even though I'm riding with Valtteri, we got P3 secured. All the airs can shut up now. Gang shit. VB77. We got P3 secured.
We don't fold. What was to say?
We don't bend, we don't fold. Come outside, all of you man trying to talk on VB's name, talk about he's not gonna secure P3, blah blah blah. God, Checo. Nah, man.
I reach with Vettel.
Allow it, fam. We're talking about your boy Gio. Listen.
I feel like if anyone deserved, I feel Ocon drove a wonderful, like from the red flags till the end, he was secure in his place. He didn't look like. I mean, Bottas should have passed him time ago, but Bottas was stuck behind Ricciardo.
No, you know what it is, yeah. I didn't even realize this until I rewatched the race. Bottas actually needed another hurry up message from Toto.
Yeah, he got
What
one.
is wrong with that boy?
He did get
What
one.
is wrong with him?
You know what? Now it's one of those ones where it's like you're waiting for Toto to be nasty with a hurry up message.
It's
the most disgusting thing in F1 right now. That hurry up message from Toto, like Valtteri, let's get them. We can get them. Let's go. Like that shit pisses me off. Like it feels like you've been told you're a little baby. Okay, baby, let's go. Step up now. Let's go up the step. It is annoying. Toto needs to stop.
No, Valtteri needs to speed up. Like you're a racing driver. Why are you only speeding up when man's telling you to do it? Are you a dog?
But yeah, it was stuck. I know it was stuck behind Danny Rick for a while, right? And then when he finally got rid of Danny Rick, then he was able to go after Ocon. And behind Danny Rick, I don't even know what happened with everyone else. I think Carlos Sainz was there somewhere, and Leclerc was there somewhere. There were certain OAPs were just spinning on their ones and crashing into other people.
Let's
speak on that man. Let's talk on that Mr. LL Plan himself.
EL or letter L?
Just letter L.
Oh,
you dropped the
L.
Kwame, the Alpine fan, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You're old man.
Actually, hold on.
I've been appointed it.
Yeah, I know you've been twerking for that little pile of merchants for time, haven't you, Kwame?
Not even. Like I've
got. Do you know what?
A couple.
Hold on. Wait there. So here's the thing. Someone said on Twitter, right? Did anyone clock Alonso pitting for softs? And then obviously quick stop go to say what? And then I had the telemetry on deck, the little tire. When people change the tire, I had that on deck, threw that in there, got a bit of traction. But then apparently someone here said that Alonso did a little spin of Rooney and they flat spotted his tires. So, for gender purposes, let's not go with that in it. Let's not go with that. Even if he did, let's say the tires are bad.
We know how he feels.
Yeah. We know. Man older than 14-year girl. Let's go with that thing, yeah. So, say a man's a Spanish goat, yeah. We should have been doing appearance as a money heist. Instead of take a Piastri seat, decided to pit for softs to take fastest lap away from Lewis, even though the point won't go to him anyway. And he failed.
He finished almost 9 tenths behind Lewis on hards when Lewis was on hards.
Fam, Lewis's tires were 24 laps old when Alonso. No, it's not 24. 34. Yeah, 34 laps old when Alonso initiated L plan, and he failed. Boy, says a lot. And you can't even say, oh, the Alpine didn't have pace because Ocon was holding off Bottas until they raced to the line. So, and Ocon, maybe think he's mid or he's good or he's shit. He's decent at least. So
listen, Ocon was putting in fastest sector times, and he was on used mediums, or was it hard? I can't remember.
Let me hold on, player. I'll
just get out. But yeah, man,
he was on.
And let's not even forget, this guy.
He was on fresh hards. He was on fresh hards. Yeah.
Okay, but it was still like almost 30 laps old as well.
Yeah. He pitted after the safety car, was it?
Oh, the red flag. It was a red flag. He didn't pit after.
No. He was. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he pitted lap 13. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
yeah, boy,
very nasty. And then in the beginning, what he tried to do again, he tried to cut across and miss the corner again and gain positions like he did in Spa or not Spa, Sochi.
Nasty. Yeah, he did. He did.
Nasty guy.
Yeah,
just a cheat, bro. Just a cheat.
Kwame, I'm sorry, your boys are dusty. You still that goes.
Needs to go back and
retire. I know how the pot goes in it, man.
That's your boy now, bro. You back him. That's your boy.
Bro, not me. Mahad, that's it. Not me.
It's your boy.
You're Mahad, fam. I see the propaganda in the accounts.
Alpine fan. On the residential Alpine fan.
Name the top half hits. Name the top half mistakes right now. Name the top half mistakes right now.
Ballon d'Or. Plan.
Go on. Name the top half hits right now.
I can give you 2. Ballon d'Or. El Plan. You can get the 3.
They ain't even got that many hits, bruv.
Boy. Scary one still.
Used to be Renault. Ricardo back.
The fact of the matter is, we were almost going to hold the corner because I know them Alpine fans were waiting. They were waiting for Ocon to finish P3, bruv. After what Tarek said earlier.
Hey, man, I've seen you guys always, man. I'll have changed my account to Alpine Standard account again. Alpine Hive. Added the blue. Yeah.
Merci beaucoup, oui. Shanzi, say all that shit. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Driver of the day. Yeah, Le Baguette. Anyways, driver of the day. Martz, I'm going to come to you, brother. Who's driver of the day?
Ocon for the second week in a row.
Calm. Boy, Kwame, who's driver of the day?
I have to give it to Ocon, innit? Because I'm the Alpine guy here. But yeah, Ocon did well, in the Alpine car. He stayed in position very well. But one thing that annoyed me, I'm going to be a bit of a tangent. Why did Max win driver of the day? What races? They gave him driver of the day
because he stayed backed. That's it. It's about simple. Do the maths.
No, that tweet from Mercedes today yesterday killed me, bro. They were like, "Where you watching from?" And someone put the angry faces, and they're like, "Oh, the Netherlands." I was on the floor.
No, because bro, we know driver of the day is a popular contest. We know these guys don't know the sport. They just back whoever. Like for example, next race is gonna be Kimi because it's Kimi's last race, and Kimi's got a fan base. But this guy didn't. This guy was just crashing, man. This guy was just angry. This guy was just overdoing it, and he didn't win the race. If you won the race, okay, fair enough, I get it. But man didn't win the race, and he still got driver of the day compared to the goat who came back. Them not speaking it, but yeah, I'll give it to Ocon, man.
Him and his Monegas brother was doing spot and got him on Bear, man, and he still got driver of the day. It's mad underdone, yeah. Kunle, driver of the day, brother.
Yeah, Esteban Ocon. I mean, who else? No one else did niche, to be fair. No one really got from.
I mean, to be fair, Danny Mick was all that,
Yeah,
he was like MP5.
There was a lot of So you see that red flag. That red flag, mash up a lot of people's race because the guys that pitted under the safety car, they lost out when the red flag came out because none of them really recovered.
Yeah, the land
maybe apart from Lewis, I don't think any of them really recovered like their original place because Lando went from like being in the top 10 to dead last. because he was the last person to pit, and then boom, red flag, and it was last. So yeah, I don't know, maybe Ocon, yeah, because Ocon did his job. He did what he had to do. You would have expected Ricardo to maybe get in at the restart because Ricardo was fourth, right? But he held his position nice. He held Lewis for like half a lap, then Lewis got in. And then from there, he didn't really make that much mistakes. And it was basically Mercedes tax on Bottas getting him on the line. So yeah, Ocon.
Boy. Yeah, I can go with Bottas, yeah. I'll give it to Ocon. Mazepin of the day. Come back to you.
Max.
Kwame.
Bottled in qualifying, bottled in the race. Dangerous driving. Got like 3 penalties. I was crying like a bitch. Fuck it.
Boy. I hear that still. Kwame.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Mash. Mispronounce it.
Mash, yeah?
Mash. Yeah, for this one.
Mash on the wedge, yeah?
Mash. I'll go to Mash there, for this one, man. I tried to do a Dutch accent, but yeah, the race, because usually I'm not, like, compared to other guys in the cast, I'm not harsh on Max. And I certain man have got stocks in him as well. He's not here, but I'm not harsh on Max. I don't hate him and I love him. I think he's a good driver. I think he's got potential, but my man used to 7 years in the sport. I thought this guy would calm down and chill. Certain days need to be aggressive, yes. Certain days need to be cool. This is one of the days needs to be composed, bro, because you're winning the championship and you're letting it slip. LH44 number 8 is coming soon because of this. Now, man had said, what, Brazil, the championship decided? And honestly, I think that's the case because, yeah, this guy was just crashing all over the place, slowing down for no reason. He bought the qualifier, which I feel like that could have been the start of it. I feel like that lost his head. Because if he got qualifying, got pole, I don't think he would have done the stuff he would have done. Save the car still would have happened, and then, yeah, different Max may have came out again, but he lost his head this weekend, long story short.
Come. Martz.
GR63, another DNF.
God damn. Boy.
Goodness
Chris is going to be banging himself,
Goodness gracious.
Chris is going to be banging himself, I swear
That
to God.
is... I thought I had a GR63 agenda. My Lord of mercy. That is
The agenda has the agenda.
This is awful, bro. How bad are you, bro, man?
That is down.
Agenda, man.
It's crazy.
It's like Saudi Arabia, man. People just crashing left, right, man.
He didn't even do anything. The boy, I mean,
What's he doing next to Mazepin in the first place?
Mazepin crashed into him. What are you talking about?
Why are you so near Mazepin that he crashes into you, bro?
Nah, bro. That whole Pitstop thing was a matter because that's gonna clunk up the grid anyways.
I don't care.
You're gonna start and then just crash, bro.
I don't care. You got a
Chris
DNF.
Chris is gonna be living. Chris is gonna be living.
Even his quality
Chris
was
is gonna
bad as
shoot
well,
you.
bro.
Chris is gonna
Quality was
find you,
terrible.
bro. Chris is looking for you right
Don't
now.
worry.
Yeah, Chris,
Chris knows.
Chris is going to turn into Digger D, fam.
Bruh. That is- wow.
I'll be saying red light, green light, fam. Shit.
Hey, da 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 da.
That's what Matt's playing at, man. Matt's playing like green light.
Masi's Digger D.
That's the title. Red light, green light.
That's it, DDD. No, you might have the worst. We're gonna get cancelled. Nah, I've been saying this full time. You're gonna have us cancelled.
You saying Masi's made in the Pyrex, yeah? Masi in the Pyrex.
Wow.
Yo.
Man.
Oh shit, we got toxic, aren't we?
Nah.
Fucking hell. Anyways, let's get some title winner predictions. Anyway, Martz, who is winning the title?
Go on, Lewis. It's gonna be close, man. It's gonna be close, but I believe Lewis can do it.
Cool. Kwame, who's winning the title, brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna give to Lewis for this one. Just for the fact that he's got the momentum now. What, 2 for 2 at the moment? Wins?
Free, bro. Free. Come on. Don't forget Brazil. Brazil, Qatar.
So, yeah. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, yeah, FIFA free.
Back to back.
Well, back to back. The Mercedes got the faster car at the moment as well. Max is losing his head, man. That's one thing. This guy is not got a composure. He's using his head at the moment. Everything's going to Mercedes' favor. Mercedes' plan.
It's his dad. It's just the spirit of his dad living through him, bro. That's what it is.
You know what? I want to speak on his dad, but I also don't want to speak on it.
Speaking it, bro. Speaking it.
No. Not yet. Another time. No.
We'll speak on it next week. Next week.
Please. I'll meet
We'll
you.
dunk on
Colette,
Joss next week.
Not today, please.
It's giving me the need. It's giving me the need of a social worker vibes. But I'm gonna leave it till next week.
Actually, no. Kunle,
I'll leave it till next
off-pod, yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get me cancelled.
It's not funny. It's actually not funny.
It's not.
Let me leave it.
No, we know. Yeah, let's just.
Let me leave
it.
Trying to
get.
His behavior is just not. It's not correct.
Boy, Kunle, who's won the title then?
You know what? Abu Dhabi is a weird ass track, man. In the past, it's always been a procession, but now they're saying there's changes to the track. You can go 11 seconds faster. I don't know. I don't know if it's a downforce heavy track now or power heavy track. In the past, it's been mixed, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi was in the track.
I think it might be more power heavy.
Last year,
with the changes he made.
If it's power heavy, then I'm putting money on Mech's head, and I'm putting money on. I mean, I'm always my money is always on Big 4 no safety, right? You know, it's always Big 4 no safety all day, every day.
Yeah.
No safety, you know, Big 4. But again, I'll 4. I'm going Lewis, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Bull are ridiculously quick there, as long as it's not a 15-second thing where it's like by the end of lap 3, I'm turning off my laptop. I'm not watching anymore. You know, I want an interesting race. I want to see something fun.
They've been surprisingly quicker than everyone's expected over the last 2 races, so you can't go into it. I mean,
you can't go into it extra confident, like you know.
At the start of it, when we were looking at like I think the last 6 or 7 races, and we were saying, oh, you know what, the last 3 races are going to be Merc tracks because they're going to be power heavy because of how many straights there are. But I mean, Qatar, Red Bull was surprisingly quick, and
even Qatar, you know, Texas,
yeah,
you know, Texas was meant to be a slam dunk Lewis win. I mean, it could have been a Lewis win, but again, I'm not. You know, some of us here know that Max can, when he has his head straight, he can put his car in the right places. You know, when he's not being a ridiculously entitled dickhead. I still think it looks like a penis. That's never going to change. But he is a good driver when he wants to be a good driver. Like, he can put his car in places. Like, when he's defending, he can defend if he wants to defend properly. Not them fugazi defenses where you're running man off track. Not them ones. Like a proper defense, like, you know, put your car in certain positions, he can do that very well. And when he has the car underneath him, he is rapid. It can be very rapid. So, you know, I think anyone else, Lewis was hunting anyone else down in Texas, he gets the win. If it was anyone else but Max, he probably gets the win. You know, that Monegasque found out in Silverstone, even with like half a broken car from Lewis, still bullied him in Silverstone.
Boy,
yeah, that's by the way. That's by the way.
Sitman's goat, you know. Sitman's goat.
Not my goal. I used to like that kid, you know. I actually used to like that kid, but Annick's making me hate the kid. You know? It's fucking Annick.
Annick, what is this? You're doing?
Fucking Annick.
This is what you're doing.
Every day twerking in the group chat.
If people sell stops.
Annick is making me hate that kid. You know, Chris is making me hate George Russell, and Annick is making me hate that other kid from Monaco. I used to like him. Yeah. Annick, you need to come to the pod for your crimes because like it's building up.
I like.
But yeah,
we'll shaking ass emotions.
You will see. I hope it's a very 1-1 good goal, Everton. No, Richarlison, it was a good goal. The build-up was sick.
It's time to wrap up there. I ain't trying to hit Everton do well. Shit.
Sorry, bro. But yeah, you know, we'll see. I want an exciting race, you know. Like I don't want dramatics. I don't want dramatics. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be decided by the stewards. I don't want it to be decided. I don't want. Oh, maybe offside. I don't want Mercedes strategy fucking it up.
Yeah, I don't
want Mercedes strategy fucking it up. But I want a good race, and
they've been holding it together.
Because I feel like regardless of this season, what it's been a great season.
Yeah.
And any of the two of them winning the championship would be deserving to be called the champion of this year. So whichever way it goes, I need these motherfucking fans to.
I just want Horner's tears, man. I just want Horner's tears in a bottle. That's it.
I know. I want Horner's tears. You know what? Yeah, Christian Horner's nasty.
Oh yeah, I need to talk on his comments. Like
Christian is nasty. You go on it because Matt. It was me and you that caught it.
You got 1 minute. March, you got 1 minute, fam.
Matt, go on
it. How can a man go on TV and say the first sector is all about the driver, the rest is just power? Like, listen, I'm waiting for his tears in a bottle. I am waiting for his tears in a bottle because I am going to drink them and I am going to get drunk off them. Next week, I'm having his tears in a bottle next week. Don't worry. We'll see who's a driver next week.
Boy. Stay tuned.
It's a bit rich coming from Christian talking about drivers.
Man never even made it into Formula One.
We'll leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that because fam, I'm tired of it. Anyways, yeah.
Next week pod is probably gonna be. It's either gonna be a celebration or you just see four sad faces.
No, next week don't put if that happens, there's no pod.
Boy, Annex gonna switch again, man.
Listen, catch us this Sunday when we'll go live. Actually, with live race review. Yes, we are that mad. So hopefully it goes in our favor with Lewis, making the number 8, or will Maximilian pull up and crash on Verstappen, get his first chip, pull up and crash. But anyways, yeah, hopefully we get a good solid race. There's no DNFs. There's no. Masi in the Pyrex doing red flag, green flag. There's none of that. Hopefully, nice race, good scrap. Yeah, and
I don't know fast lap jiggery as well, man. Please.
Yeah. Fuck all that shit. Anyways, thanks for listening. If you stayed this far, God help me if you have. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts as well. Really help us with the pod. Help Kwame out of jail. Help Anik stop, going on these luscious holidays with all these babes. It'll keep my head in the country. Listen, let me not go on no further. Anyways, till next time, we'll be doing a review of him. We'll be here next time doing a review of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Till next time, peace.